Good morning, my dear students. I am teacher Aliaa Ashraf from Mansoura Real School Science Department. Our session today is related to grade 4. We will continue together Unit 1, Living Things, Lesson 3, The Cell. I'd like to start our lesson today with this question. What's your body made up of? If you remember, we talked in our first lesson that the body of living organisms consists of a group of systems. Each system consists of a group of organs. Each organ consists of a group of tissues. Each tissue consists of a group of similar cells. And we illustrated the definition of each one of them. But I will repeat them again to make you remember. If I want to define the body of living organisms, I can say that it is a group of different systems that work together in full harmony. The group of different systems that work together in full harmony. About this point, I want to ask you a question as a revision on lesson 1. Why these different groups of systems in the body of living organism must work together in full harmony. With a different way, give reason. The body of living organism is made up of a group of systems that are working together in full harmony. The answer will be to keep it alive. It refers to the body of these living organisms. If this body is a human body, so the answer will be to keep the human body alive. I hope you got it. While if I want to define the system, I can say that it's a group of organs that work together. An organ is a group of tissues that work together. While the tissue is a group of similar cells that work together. While the cell has a different way to define it. So guys, let's define it together. If you remember, we took the definition of the cell in our first lesson, the digestive system. And we said that the cell is the smallest building unit of all living organisms. The smallest building unit of all living organisms. Today, we have a new definition for the cell. I can define it like that. It is the unit of structure and function in living organisms. The unit of structure and function in living organisms. So we have two definitions for the cell. The first one, the smallest building unit of all living organisms, and the second one, the unit of structure and function in living organisms. As you see in this picture, I can make a relation between the brick and the cell. The brick, I use it to build the building. I can define the brick in this picture. It is the building unit of the building. As a cell, I can define it the smallest building unit of the human body. So the brick, it's like the cell, and the human body like the building. The cell acts as the brick and the human body acts as the building. I hope you got it. Let's apply this information on our body. For example, our human body consists of a group of systems as digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, urinary system, and so on. When I take one example for the system, for example, I take the digestive system. We will find that the digestive system consists of a group of organs as mouth, esophagus, stomach, and so on. Let's take one organ of them, like stomach, for example. We will find that this organ, which you call the stomach, contains a group of tissues. You can see this tissue inside you in this picture. If I take one tissue like that, I can call it cell. Okay? So the system consists of organs. If I take one organ, we will find this organ consists of tissues. If I take one tissue, we will find that it consists of cell. Let's apply this information also on the plant body. We will find that the plant body will consist of two systems, which are the shoot system and the root system. The root system is the system that we cannot see it because it's under the ground, while the shoot system is the system that we can see it because it's above the ground. If I take one organ of the shoot system, like leaves, let's take one leaf. We will find it consists of tissues. If I take one tissue like that, it is the cell of plant. Okay? I will repeat it again. The plant body consists of two systems, the shoot system and the root system. The shoot system is the system that's above the ground, so I can see it. It contains organs like leaves, stem, fruits, flowers, and so on. While the root systems consists of organs like roots, which I cannot see it because it's under the ground. If I take one organ of the plant, like the leaf, I will find this leaf will consist of a group of tissues. If I take one tissue, I can call it the cell of the plant. So finally, I can say that each body of the living organisms contains a building unit, which is called symmetric units, the cell. So now we will classify the living organisms into two kinds, according to the number of cells inside them. The first kind is called the multicellular living organisms. Multicellular living organisms. And the second kind, unicellular living organisms. Unicellular living organisms. What is the meaning of multi and uni? The multicellular living organisms means that the organism that contain more than one cell. So I called it multicellular, have more than one cell. While the unicellular living organisms, the organisms that contain only one cell. So I called it unicellular, one cell. Now I will illustrate the multicellular living organisms by giving examples on them. The multicellular living organisms as plant body, animal body, and the human body. while the unicellular living organisms as bacteria and yeast fungus. We will transfer to multicellular living organisms, and I said that they have two examples, the human body and the plant body and the animal body. But these three examples composed of different types of cells. So I will classify them into two types. The first one, animal or human body, and the second one, plant body. Why I classify them like that? Because the human and animal body contain the same type of building unit or the same type of symmetric unit, which is called the animal cell. And this is the shape of the animal cell. While the plant body contain a different building unit or a different symmetric unit, which is called plant cell. And this is the shape of plant cell. I will repeat it again. The multicellular living organisms have examples like humans, animals, and plants. But these three examples composed of different types of cell. So I classify them according to types. The first one, human or animal body, because it contains the same type of building unit, which is the animal cell. While the second type, the plant body, because it contains a different building unit or symmetric unit, which is called the plant cell. Now I will explain the structure of plant cell and animal cell. This is the structure of plant cell. This word called nucleus. 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 This word called subvacuole. 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 And this small points called cytoplasm. 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 The small points is a fluid that inside the plant cell called cytoplasm. This green parts called green plastids. Green plastids. Green plastids. Or chloroplasts. 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 Green plastids or chloroplasts. The outer part or the outer wall called the cell wall. The cell wall. The cell wall. Which is the inner one called plasma or cell membrane. Plasma or cell membrane. I will repeat them again for you. Number 1, nucleus, nucleus. Number 2, subvacuole, subvacuole. Number 3, cytoplasm, cytoplasm. Number 4, green plastids, green plastids, green plastids. Or chloroplasts, chloroplasts. Number 5, cell wall, cell wall. Number 6, plasma or cell membrane. This is the structure of plant cell, and now we will describe the structure of animal cell. This is the structure of animal cell. This part called nucleus, nucleus, nucleus. And this small points, it's a fluid that inside the animal cell, which called cytoplasm. 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 The outer wall called plasma or cell membrane. Plasma or cell membrane. Plasma or cell membrane. And this yellow bars called small vacuole. Small vacuole. Small vacuole. I will read them again for you. Number 1, nucleus, nucleus. Number 2, cytoplasm, cytoplasm. Number 3, plasma or cell membrane, plasma or cell membrane. Number 4, small vacuole, small vacuole. This was the day's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it with me and see you later. Goodbye.